Hello, you are listening to WVCW. I am your music director, Hayden, Kendall, and I'm here with Combat, the incredible band. How are y'all today?
I'm awesome.
Pretty good.
Great. I'm glad you called us incredible.
I'm so excited.
Yay.
Yay! Wonderful. What are y'all's names? What do you play in the band? And what's your favorite comic book?
My name is Holden. I write all the songs. I play guitar and I sing. And my favorite comic book is the Saga of the Swamp Thing, issues number 20 to 64.
My name is Josh. I play the bass guitar. And my favorite comic book is probably the Saga of the Swamp Thing, issues 20 to 64.
I'm Devin. I play guitar and have fun. My favorite comic is All-Star Superman number 6. And it will be Saga of the Swamp Thing very soon.
Hi, my name is Max. I play lead guitar in Combat, and I don't know if I have a favorite comic book right now, but I've been reading a lot of X-Men, like the Chris Claremont run, and that's really good, so I'm going to go with that.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I play the drums. My favorite comic book is Secret Wars, the reboot, where Dr. Doom is God. I think that's pretty cool.
Dr. Doom should be God of all.
Yeah. He does a very bad job, unfortunately.
Do you see he got murked in Fortnite?
He what?
He was the villain of Fortnite this season, and they just killed him. Yeah.
I believe that.
It was a sad day.
Oh, it does sound very sad. Well,
It was all over Twitter.
well, rest in peace, Dr. Doom. So y'all obviously have connections to Richmond. You've played here in the past, correct?
Yeah.
You're friends with our local bands, Kitty Corner, Dead Billionaires. What made y'all choose Richmond as your first stop on this huge tour?
We had to go south, and it was the first major city. Yeah, that's really it. We're also we're pretty good friends with Kitty Corner and Dead Billionaires. We actually played at Ipanema Cafe. I did a solo set at Ipanema Cafe with this exact lineup 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
Summer of 2022. So yeah, it was. We like Richmond a lot.
No, I've been listening to y'all for a while, and I was told that you were in Richmond previously. I was like, what? I had no clue. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to meet y'all here again. Are you excited to come back at all, or is there anything you missed from being here?
Yeah, I mean, this is also the first stop of tour. So we're all really, really thrilled. We really like the space. Generally, Richmond is a city that I always try to book at for all of our previous DIY tours, and it was always so hard to do. So I was always very stoked when we could actually play.
Well, I'm glad you're here now. Thank you so much for stopping by.
That's what's up.
So from what I've seen, from what people call y'all, I've heard multiple genres from pop punk, indie rock, to new wave emo. Would y'all claim those genres at all for yourself, or is there something that you prefer to be? Or is Combat just a mass collection of different things to make your own unique sound?
So we have opinions about this because Max brought up a really good point that with our record, people are calling it pop punk, which it is pop punk. But when all of our friends' bands put out records that are pop punk records, they call it emo. And people are, which is now a more cool term. People are like, oh, that means good music. But pop punk, I feel is not as normalized into modern, music discussion things as a really awesome piece of music. And so it's really interesting that for the first time that I've seen, our band is correctly labeled, but man, I'm kind of wishing that I wish pop punk was a cooler term right now.
I know.
But yeah, I think that all of those descriptors are very accurate. It's definitely pop punk, indie rock, kind of stuff, but it's not quite like Blink-182.
No, I've told people oh, they're a really great pop punk-esque band. They're like, oh, like Machine Gun Kelly. I'm like,
right,
no.
It's such a tough vibe. Yeah, Prince Daddy doesn't get called pop punk. They're more pop punk than we are. Mom Jeans get called, or that their new record's entirely a pop punk record, and nobody dares to call it pop punk. But anyway.
Well, great. Do any of y'all have any strong opinions about this at all, or that you'd like to share?
When people ask or whatever, at work, what I do, I usually just say I play in a punk band or a rock band. But when you say you play in a punk band, they think you mean a bad band and not like a good band.
Yeah, I say rock and hope they don't ask any more questions.
That's fair. That's
It's
completely
easy.
fair. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, great. So y'all got your start in the Baltimore scene. For people from Richmond, where we're from, we might not know what that is like. You began, I believe, writing your music and creating them around 2020. So we were just wondering, what's it like going up in the Baltimore scene, especially in 2020 during the pandemic, which was a difficult time for live music?
Yeah, so there isn't like a very cohesive like group of folks that like make up the beef of the scene. Because kind of like the very very dominant scene in Baltimore is hardcore. But anything outside of that, there isn't really not that it's necessarily a terrible thing. But there's not really much of a community. All shows are always these bands and yada yada. It's a lot of mixed bills, particularly like coming out of the pandemic. Everybody just kind of wanted to play shows, and so pretty much every show was like a wild, really cool mixed bill of like garage rock and punk and indie rock and stuff like that. But yeah, like there wasn't really lots of good spaces for us to play, particularly in Baltimore. So we played a lot of like county house shows pretty constantly, and then now we help run a DIY space in Baltimore called the Undercroft, which is like an all ages, all sober, all volunteer run art space under a church. And so we see a lot of the music going on in Baltimore. It's really cool, but yeah, it's a weird music city. It's a really, really cool one, but there's just like so much stuff going on that like there's not a ton of consistency, which is actually pretty cool.
I'd say the Richmond scene is very, very similar to that, where there's just so
That's what
much
I've noticed.
going on that nobody can pin down anything as a collective set of people. I didn't know y'all had a DIY underground scene that you run by yourself.
It's called the Undercroft.
The
It's
Undercroft.
myself, Josh, Dev, and we have about 2 other main volunteers back home, and it's really fun and it's really cool.
It sounds really fun. How long have you been running that for?
It's been operating since 2018, and myself and Josh only started volunteering in 2022 to 2023.
Well, good. If I'm ever by Baltimore, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop by. I would love to pop by. Great.
Pop by.
Pop by. So, Stay Golden, which we're here today, y'all are going to perform a couple songs off, released just 2 months ago, right?
Yep.
What was the creation of that like for y'all? Was it, were there any hiccups along the way? Did everything just fall into place? And what was that like compared to your last album that you released? Because you're under Counterintuitive Records now, correct?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So what's that like having that big backing with you now?
Counterintuitive was a label that I was obsessed with for a really long time, and like when I was 15, I started a record label, and like pretty much the main label I tried to model it after, at least with like making a website and infrastructure and how we run, was Counterintuitive. So it like feels really crazy to be on there. But yeah, I write all the songs. I've been doing that. I started doing that when I was 17, living on campus in college. And then I stopped summer of last year, or like early summer, late spring of last year, 2023. And yeah, I kind of always knew that it was going to be called Stay Golden, and that Stay Golden was going to be the first track with that weird kind of orchestral intro. I knew that I was trying to go big with it, but I didn't quite know what it was going to be until I was actually just finished with writing it. And recording it was really awesome. We got to record in Tacoma, Maryland with Ryland from Origami Angel producing, and our friend Alex from Snail Mail and Prude engineering, and that was really awesome. We knocked everything but vocals out in like 4 days, and it was really, really tight. It was really stressful. I know Max particularly was recording guitar for Weird Ending Part 2, which is the last song, up until an hour and a half after we had to be out of the studio. but that was also a lot less stressful than our first recording experience when we were 17, 18. In 2021, we recorded at Inner Ear Studios in Arlington, Virginia, which is now closed. We recorded all of Texting When You Get Back, including the vocals, in
10 hours.
9 to 10 hours. And we only practiced for the first time the day prior.
What?
Yeah, so
That is insane. Okay.
I like to think this new one sounds a lot better.
Also, I'll say
We mixed it ourselves too.
yeah, we mixed it ourselves, and our friend mastered it. This one we hired Drew from that band Intervention. He also does formerly Intervention, rest in peace. But he does front of house for Origami Angel and a bunch of other bands like Gel. He mixed it. So like we had a lot of awesome people working with us, where the first record was pretty much, it was recorded and then we did almost everything else ourselves.
Incredible. Whoa. I love that orchestral intro for Stay Golden.
Thank you.
I was preparing for this interview today, just playing that on loop. It's like, this rips. It's so good. It's one of my favorite pieces.
Spider-Man.
And then Spider-Man.
Whoa!
I have a distinct memory of like Holden showing me that song for the first time, like 2022, and it was all MIDI at that point. I thought it was like, oh, this is the coolest shit ever. And then the Spider-Man sample happened. It was like, oh, so cool, so awesome.
It is really good. Y'all, you mentioned Origami Angel. You are, I don't know if it's happened yet or if it's about to happen. You are opening for a sold-out show in Washington, D.C. with Origami Angel. How is that feeling? Has that happened yet? Or
It's December 15th.
December 15th. Okay. How is that feeling? Sold out.
Oh, it's crazy. We're already like plotting on all the stupid things that we can do in front of 1,200 people. But yeah, we're like extremely grateful. It's a really cool experience, and we're like extremely lucky to be playing with them. Rylan and Pat from Origami Angel are like some of our like best friends ever. So it's like, and only like as of like the last 2 years, it's been really cool.
I will say though, they've been seeing us for 2 years, and they've like helped us kind of like grow as a band, of like given a lot of tips, and have seen us, you know, for 2 years straight. So it's like really awesome that like a band like Origami Angel can like give us like a chance and like trust us and like let us be stupid and do our thing, you know?
Wonderful. Are y'all excited to do your thing, be stupid in front of that big of an audience? Like,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Big time.
We're plotting.
Plotting and planning. Concepts of a
We
plan.
discovered maybe a background video for that one.
Oh yeah, we did find a background video. There's a
I'll just say, oftentimes when we get big opportunities like this, it's a lot more difficult to rein it in than it is to psych ourselves up to do crazy things.
yeah.
It's completely fair. Piggybacking off that a little bit, in regards to y'all's success and all that, Stay Golden has got tens of thousands of new listeners to y'all. You have been put on lists as bands to be on the lookout for in the future. Even this tour, a portion of it is titled "Before They Go Viral." Either they die, get
before
murdered.
they die or get murdered or go ultra viral.
Go ultra viral.
Say it a lot of
Incredible tour name. I almost wrote it down on my arm before I got here. It's like, it's such a long title. I will not remember that.
Yeah,
but
it's
it's
such a long
such a
title.
good title.
We didn't think about how long the title was until we had to do promo stuff for it, and then we're like, oh.
We're out of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I generally think that more words is usually better. So
It means you're smarter too.
it means you're smart. It means you're way smarter.
I agree. It's way smarter.
thinking cap kind of poster.
Yeah.
But yeah. So y'all obviously know that there is a good amount of fame just right around the corner for you. You're getting the numbers up there. You're signed onto a great record label. What is that like, rising as from such a like a small Baltimore band to playing in front of audiences, tens of thousands, and having your name loved across the country?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it till you said it. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know. No. This is like, well, we really haven't played shows since our records come out. So I don't know what it's like. I'll get back to you. It feels very much the same. It's usually that like, oh, we can actually play in this place we've never been to, and there will be people there who like aren't just there for their friends' bands. That's really cool. Hasn't happened yet. This is also our first night, but yeah, like particularly for this show, there's like lots of people who are like hitting us up about it, and I was like, oh, I don't know who you are. That's crazy. So yeah, like it's really cool, but it honestly doesn't feel so far very much different than the last time we played this venue.
It's cool. It's cool.
We're excited.
Yeah, we're kind of like, tonight is the first night of tour, and we have like 24 more shows, something like that. And we're like, we kind of have no idea what to expect. We're just all really excited about it.
I expect video games,
I expect
pancakes,
video games, comic books,
waffles.
yeah, waffles, Waffle House, cookout, a lot of cookout.
Cookout.
Especially, it doesn't feel much different currently for this show because we're playing with two bands we've played with before in Richmond, and I think our last tour started off in Richmond with
Correct.
So.
Yep. And Padfoot. That band rules.
Does it ever psych y'all out to have audiences, like, because this is your tour, does it ever freak you out to have people come to listen to your, like, vulnerable but exciting music at all?
Yeah, I was sitting in the car giggling because the sign said combat. So that was.
I think that parking spot is for
Yeah, we were like, oh
row
my
parking.
God, there's cones.
I know. I was out front talking to Holly from Kitty Corner, and I was like, "Hey, how are y'all doing?" I was like, "I'm here to interview Combat. How's it going?" And she was like, "Oh, Holden's right there." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I thought that's what was going down.
I will also say, along with Combat has played with Kitty Corner like twice, but we play in other bands that have also played with Kitty Corner and Dead Billionaires. It feels very much not weird. It'll probably feel weird in a few days.
A couple dates in, and I think it'll start to be like, what's happening?
Yeah, when we're in Texas or whatever.
Well, I hope I can. If y'all ever decide to come back to Richmond, which I really hope you do, I'd love a follow up to see how you're feeling then.
Yay.
Always love to go viral in Richmond.
We'll be like, have you seen the video of Billie Eilish where she goes back to Insider or whatever every year and she's like, my name's Billie Eilish. And she's like 2.4 million followers.
There's that video that's going around right now. There's this kid, he goes into like Walmart and then he just starts yodeling in the middle.
You gotta see it.
Yeah.
No, he yodels, right?
Yodels in the middle of the store.
So like in the middle of the store?
It just came out. You gotta see it.
Oh my
It's
God.
the new big thing.
like while it's open.
I like him.
People are there.
His name Mason Ramsey?
I don't know. I know.
You don't know?
Like,
The
You're the
Yodel boy?
expert.
All I know is he's Yodel Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Yodel Kid.
He does yodel, yeah.
He used to be yodeling kid. I think he's yodeling guy now.
Yeah, he's probably
He's grown a bit.
guy.
Yeah.
Yodeling man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Superhero name.
I know.
Y'all got a huge tour ahead of you, 1 full month of nonstop stops, and we're so thankful that you guys decided to stop in Richmond with us.
Thank
and especially
you.
talking to us from WVCW. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate it a lot. This is very cool.
Of course, yeah. Do y'all have any messages or things you want to leave with the audience?
Read comic books and have fun, because one day you won't be able to do that, and that will be less fun than reading comic books and having fun.
And start a band so you can play slap bass.
That's true.
If you want to play in Baltimore at Undercroft.
Oh, yeah. Email us at booking@theundercroft.org. Play at our DIY venue.
Please do. That would be wonderful. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for talking with us today. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Please stream Stay Golden.
And please stream Stay Golden. So put it on your iPad and your iPhone at night. Turn it all the way down while you're sleeping.
Put it on your Zune. But Zune don't exist no more, but put it on there.
I'm trying to buy some Legos. All right, sorry.
No, you're all good. No, never apologize. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Of
course.
Have a great one.
Thank you.